1975. How many of you guys remember 1975? I was watching Sunday Adventure Theater, and they featured a movie called The Man Who Would Be King. It was based on Rudyard Kipling's novel, and it tells a lot about a story that's happening today. And that's the relationship between the Tsar of Russia and the current president of the United States. My name is Mark Biernot. I'm a monetary economist. In this video, we'll talk a little about economics, but I want to talk about a myth, a modern myth, the power of myth. If you remember, in Plato, he said there were three types of human beings: gold, silver, and copper or bronze. Gold being the wise, the pursuit, the people who flew above it all, humbled their ego, and was not about material or glory, success. They just wanted wisdom, truth. The second was silver, those who had ambitions of glory and fame, typically like a warrior. And the third was the appetitive man, copper, bronze. They wanted wealth to fulfill their appetites. Maybe there was some glory connected to them, and no one is exactly clearly divided, but it was primarily a pursuit of the material world. So I remember the conservative talk show host, Rush Limbaugh, had said, the guy who is in the office, he's a maverick. He's so asymmetrical, nobody can figure him out. I can figure him out using these myths and literature. He's copper. He's bronze, right? He's motivated by this. He's not asymmetrical. He's not zigging and zagging. He's motivated by material wealth and a little bit of put my name in the history books for my material wealth, and I'll pass that to my future generations, and they'll continue my legacy of accumulating wealth. Even making America wealthy again, or whatever the phrase is, right? Where the Tsar of Russia is obsessed with his own delusion. And in The Man Who Would Be King, there was a guy named Daniel. There was really two adventurers, Peachy and Daniel, I believe. And they went into Pakistan mountain passes to seek fame and glory. And one, I think, was struck by an arrow, but he had armor underneath, and the locals saw that he didn't die, so they made him a god with a small g. And the ATE, that's how it's spelled, ATE, you can look it up, is he started to believe his own delusion. He was somebody who was of the, let's say, silver class, and he believed his own delusion, and that became dangerous, and the nemesis and his fall was that. That is what the Tsar of Russia is doing. He believes the essence of who he is some sort of historical figure that is fulfilling destiny. He's believing this delusion. It's a delusion. It's not real. Read Rudyard Kipling. Read Plato. See the movie, at least, The Man Who Would Be King. Michael Caine, Sean Connery. And so when these two minds interact, what is going to happen next? Of course, the Tsar is going to call up the President of the United States and say, let's have a love fest in Hungary. Hungary, has that ever in the recent history been on the right side of history? World War I, they were a central power. World War II, they were Third Reich aligned. Then post-communist, now they're aligned with Moscow. Okay, they're going to have a love fest there. A lot of good people in Hungary, okay? Lots of them. I don't know why they don't just push this democracy and transparency more. But they're going to go there. The Tsar is going to tempt Washington with economic bombs and say, we can make, America a wealthy country with nuclear, fossil fuels, more fossil fuels. Here I've got this mask. I wear this urban mask because of all the pollution in the city. I live in a valley and it accumulates. He's going to say that don't worry about it. We'll take care of it. That's all nonsense. It's not nonsense. So the bottom line is tomahawks are never, ever, ever going to hit Russia. ever. The czar, it's all predictable, seeking glory under the delusion, like the men who would be king, or under Plato, will tempt the copper bronze man with economic incentives who has a little bit of taste of this silver, that his name will also be in the history books. And the playbook has been the same, and it will be the same. It will be stalling and delaying on the part of the United States. They'll frame it like they're trying to help or they're trying to do something, but tick-tock, time goes by. It allows the czar to reorganize, rethink, retool, connect with China, integrate that economy with China, and push for further, develop new super weapons, futuristic, high-tech, sci-fi type things, such as biologicals. So, the time is now. You either believe in this democracy, you want to make the world a better place, you believe in transparency, truth, and goodness, and you act on it to see that the world and the future generations have a better future. Or you hunker down in your own economic nationalism, get tempted by the first person, the first red dress that walks your way and your eyes shift over. That's what it looks like the current geopolitical policy is in Washington. The czar in a red dress, metaphorically. And just let the world kind of muddle through and figure this out, which means it's a forever war. It goes on forever. It never ends. Fossil fuels continue to be burned. Maybe some people profit, some people don't. But you have to understand it in the framework of people are motivated, according to Plato, either by gold, silver, or copper. And I don't mean the literal gold. They're either motivated by wisdom, glory, or just plain greed. Okay. Humans, not just men. And when silver meets copper, silver is going to win. Silver trumps copper. It's like playing cards every time. There is no way the czar is going to stop this. He just cannot. Because Marcus Aurelius said, if you want to understand somebody, ask yourself, what is their nature? His nature is not to stop. Until his name is written in gold in some history book as the next Catherine the Great. And the president of the U.S. will not stop touting this materialism, this desire for wealth, until his name and his fortune is connected with accumulation of further wealth. I just think that's the way it is. You can disagree. So are tomahawks going to Russia from Ukraine? No, not a chance. The good news is Ukraine understands this. They're not going to stop. Nothing's changed. The Russian economy's tanking. Russia will lose. I'm an economist. I can see it. I can see the writing on the wall, as well as a philosopher and a historian. They cannot sustain the economic model they have. Their capital is being consumed. The resources are running low. The disposable income is negative, both on an individual and a government level. And Ukraine, it still has support, it still has momentum, and it still has motivation and ingenuity. So Ukraine will win, Russia will lose, regardless of the tete-a-tete of silver and copper. Watch the man who would be king. And that's the way Russia will end. My name is Mark Biernat. I'm a monetary economist. Thank you very much. Have a beautiful day.